Back at Box and Burn for round 2 with UFC heavyweight fighter Brendan Schaub.
How's it going? Round 2, huh? How's the first round?
First round was amazing, as it was with your coach, Tony Jeffries.
Would he just not shut up about England and boxing, I'm assuming? Was it all England and boxing?
99.9% of it.
Yes.
As a UFC fighter, you have a jiu-jitsu coach, a wrestling coach. How important is it to you to have an Olympic boxing coach?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many kind of bases you have to cover in the UFC, so you want to find the very best. So as far as jiu-jitsu goes, I have world-class trainers in Henner and Hiron Gracie. Wrestling, I have world-class trainers, so it only made sense that I sought out Tony Jeffries, who is a world-class boxer, and brought him on board. So he's also, one of my best friends, so that helps.
So with so many top UFC stand-up coaches, what made you pursue Tony so much, seeing that he said he'd never trained any UFC fighters?
Yeah, it really is a feeling out process. With Tony, when I first started working with him, he just kind of opened the gym here in Santa Monica. He has a second location in Brentwood, and he just has a really good work ethic, and his style, he has a very amateur style as far as boxing goes, which is focused on footwork and not getting hit. Was a heavyweight in the UFC. You make your living, and that's how you pay the bills, is by not getting hit and good footwork. So he was the guy for the job. And I don't know if he told you in round 1, but he didn't want to work with me. I had to convince him.
Oh, really? He did not tell me this. Give me the inside scoop.
He didn't want to work with me. He said he was too busy holding mitts for soccer moms and housewives, and that literally, those are his words, not mine. And he just didn't know if he could handle the job. And so I said, dude, we got to make this work. And I just kept staying on, kept taking him out for coffee. Finally convinced him, and it was the most expensive choice I've ever made. And I live out of my car, but I train with Tony all the time.
Not a bad car to live out of.
Yeah, right? Yeah, just kidding.
So you're probably one of the only UFC fighters who was a semi-professional football player and then made the transition to fighting. What advantages and disadvantages do you think you have with that football background and not being a trained fighter your entire life?
Yeah, I played Division I football at University of Colorado, then spent a little time with the Buffalo Bills. So, for me, you got to realize it in martial arts, especially when you're a kid, and I'm going to take some heat for this, but when you're a kid, the only reason your parents usually sign you up for martial arts is because you suck at everything else. So when you can't play football, basketball, baseball, any of the normal sports every other kid's doing, your parents are kind of like, well, I guess we could sign up for taekwondo, So for me, I was busy. I was good at all these other sports. So the talent pool that comes from taekwondo, stuff like that, isn't that large. And if you notice, a lot of martial arts are very introverted, because it's very kind of one-on-one based, stuff like that. Well, the advantage I have is playing football, especially at a Division I level and in the pros, it's the highest level of competition in the world. To be an American football player, it's what everyone wants to be in America. So there's so many people who go out for that sport, and just every day that competition and competing at that level and getting this world-class training, I wouldn't change it for the world. So a lot of other martial artists who started way before me, I think they're at a disadvantage because I've been exposed to a lot more high-level training than they have.
Right. So while you were playing football, was UFC fighting at the back of your head?
Yeah, my junior year in college, I would leave practice from the football field, and I'd walk into a jiu-jitsu gym. So I always knew I wanted to compete in the UFC. The very first UFC was in my hometown in 1993. I would ditch school and rent the VHSs from Blockbuster. That's super old school. And, I just always wanted to be a fighter, but I just happened to be good at other sports. Football, probably my sophomore year in college. I just knew I didn't want to make a living doing this, but I just always wanted to pursue fighting.
Right. Well,
I think it was a smart choice.
Yeah, well, life's too short to live the same day twice, and you're living proof of that.
True.
So you are an MMA fighter, and Brian Callen is an actor and comedian, and together you run The Fighter and the Kid. Yeah. How did that come about, seeing that the two of you are your yin and yang?
I know. That's why the show works. I think that's why the show's become so popular is you have, one of the top stand-up comics in the game, and he's also 50. He's 50, and he refers to himself as the Kid, so that's weird. And then you have myself, a cage fighter, so it's The Fighter and the Kid. To be honest, I wish I could take credit and say it was my idea and all this stuff, but really, Brian Callen had his own podcast. It had like 11 listeners, including me, and he asked me to come on his show. I went on, and we just hit it off right away, back and forth. Like 2 weeks later, he's like, hey, can you come on again? I'm like, dude, I was just on there. He's like, I know, but it went really well. Let's do it again. So I go on again, and he's like, I got an idea. We should do a show called The Fighter and the Kid. I was like, well, who's the Kid? He's like, I'm the Kid. So I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to meet with him every week and talk fighting. Because anyone who knows me, I don't enjoy... there's so much more to me than fighting. I don't enjoy being pigeonholed as just talking fighting and football. So I didn't want to do it. He convinced me. We started doing it. A real small studio in off La Cienega in L.A. It was a beast for me to get to. And in the studio, you could hear like dogs barking. You could hear the people vacuuming upstairs. It was a little hood. It was a cool feeling. It was a little hood. And it started to go really well, started to pick up. And then we were only doing it maybe once every 2 weeks. And then people started to like it, so we started to do it once every week. And then a year goes by, and I get a call from Fox Sports. And they said, listen, we're starting a podcast kind of branch. We heard about your show. We'd love to meet with you guys. So we brought our show, The Fighter and the Kid, over to Fox Sports. And, man, the show couldn't be doing any better. Yeah,
it's exploded onto the scene, basically.
Yeah, it's going really good. We're in talks for TV shows and kind of branching out. Our merchandise is, it's been a real hit for us.
Are you trying to sell your merchandise like Tony?
you guys will be receiving a package in the mail. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. For me, any advice I give to any other athletes is use your voice, use your platform. There's so many guys who you might be introverted or you might not be good at interviews, but if you do a podcast, and I'm kind of jumping around here, but if you do a podcast, this is exactly what Derek Jeter's trying to do. He's trying to make these blogs. He's trying to have top athletes write blogs so people get to know the athletes. If all you do is let the NFL, MLB, or UFC market you, you're not going to get your voice heard. No one's going to get to know you besides being this trained killer in the octagon or this fantastic football player. So if more athletes would take on the role, you don't have to be outgoing all this stuff. Maybe you have a partner who's outgoing who brings it out of you. So I encourage so many other athletes to take this direction. You can do it on the side, one day out of your week for an hour, just to get your voice heard so people know you. I promise you it will do wonders for your career.
So we know you as this fighter, and this podcast, as you say, is helping everyone get to know the real you.
Yeah.
What is something that you would like to tell us that no one knows about you? Maybe a funny talent, a hobby. Do you knit in your spare time?
What most people don't know is, I sing all the time. Yeah, nonstop. I'm not very good, but I sing all the time.
I'm going to ask you to sing.
I can't do it on when I'm on the spot. What? I wake up, I sing, I dance nonstop. Yeah, a little weird.
So right now, a very hot topic, talking about the podcast, is Joe Rogan's interview with you. Mm-hmm. And Joe Rogan's a great friend of yours.
Yeah.
And in your interview after your fight with Travis Brown, he was less than friendly.
Yeah.
But why did you decide to go forth and air that podcast?
Yeah, I was surprised as anyone. I think you'd be surprised. I was as surprised as anyone when it happened. But the reason I decided to air it, one, I knew it was going to give kind of people an understanding of exactly what a fighter goes through. When I do the podcast, there's kind of these kind of stages. a fight announcement. Everyone's so excited for me in my fight. They go through camp on my show. Everyone hears the struggle on how rough camp is and the sparring partners I bring in and the injuries I have. And then win or lose, they still get to hear my response, see how I feel. And then this is a whole nother level when you get critiqued by some of your peers and your best friends. So for me, it was just part of the journey. I'm as tough as anyone when it comes to that stuff. I have thick skin, and I just felt it was the right thing to do. I felt like I was cheating the Fighter and the Kid fans if I didn't air it. As bad as it sucked and as much heat I was going to take, I think by doing this, I've earned more fans and more respect.
I was just about to say that although you took a lot of heat, you gained respect from that because it's not all about the glitz and the glamour and winning.
I'm like the Dark Knight right now. Bane broke my back, and I'm in that weird tunnel. I'm trying to get out, and we're nowhere near to getting out, but I'll figure it out.
How do you think you'll channel what you took from that fight and make yourself stronger for the next one?
Listen, if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear it. But I have some questions to ask and or to answer, really. And I don't have those answers right now, and that's why you don't see me in the octagon. I don't have anything lined up right now. I'm just kind of working on myself and getting better. Listen, since I was 10, I've been playing sports. I've never had an off season. Never, since I was 10. So for me right now, I'm enjoying this rest and just getting better and healing my body and focus on my show. And I'll fight in 2015. I'm not sure when, but that's the game plan right now. Like I said, I'm the Dark Knight or the Brown Knight, and I'm at the bottom of that tunnel and trying to get out.
Right, well, we're definitely rooting for you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You stated in one of your podcasts that you'd rather live 50 years as a warrior than 100 years as a gazelle.
Yeah.
So what's...
And some people are like, oh, what are you saying? People have regular jobs or a gazelle? No. I'm saying I would turn into a gazelle if... instead of fighting, I just went and worked for the UFC or did something like that. I think that would be selling myself short, and that would be a gazelle move. Everyone wants to be a lion until it's time to do lion stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So by me sticking with it and bouncing back and having the support from the fans is the way a lion would do things.
Right. No, that quote really struck a chord with me, and I really liked it, and that's why I brought it up.
Some people I took heat for it because they're like, well, I work at Starbucks. You're saying I'm a gazelle? No. You can be a badass lion and work at Starbucks. Make the meanest cappuccino this side of Mississippi. I'm just saying, if you quit Starbucks because you're waking up early and you do something that's just because it's comfortable and convenient, then you're a gazelle. That's what I meant by that.
Right, exactly. If you're going to do something, do it properly.
There you go.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me, Brendan. I never watched UFC, but until I knew that you were Tony's, I've become a major fan.
I love it. Thanks so much.